Hello, this is the LEGO Star Wars Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea set. This comes with 382 pieces and it cost me $55 US. I did build it live over on Twitch. Obviously, this is a minifig pack, and minifigs are the main things people are going to be caring about here, but there is this whole build, which is important and has some value for the sake of display. It's a portion of the top of the temple there, the plateau, the roof of it in a way, and it's built up pretty nicely. I actually like it. You know, it's not just a little rectangle there, and it does have a good presence. I think a good visual presence. I think that it presents figures to you for this scene and for the show in general in a respectable way. I personally really like the high contrast and clarity of these monoliths with the stickers on there. It does require the use of stickers, but I think that it worked out pretty well. There's some variation. They're not all exactly the same. And I just honestly do think that they look good and contribute a lot to this scene. You also have the gold bar going across the back of each, which makes it look a little bit more interesting as well. And just generally on the outside of this, you don't see a whole lot of weird stuff other than this. Well, we'll see what that's about in just a second, but you know, it's finished even around the edges and not just on the major elements. The decorations on the ground are also pretty strong. The gray is a little bit off, and you also see some printing artifacts over here in the gray where it's not completely consistent, but it's not too bad. I think overall it looks good, but I think it was a bad choice to make those stickers. I know it all comes down to budgeting, and there are constraints that we normal consumers don't understand or will probably never properly understand, constraints that the LEGO designers have to go through, but ultimately this is the product we end up with. And I think that these should have been prints. I think that should have been one print. That should have been one print. They just get repeated after that. And the reason I think they should have been prints, well, it's twofold. One, a lot of people have trouble aligning stickers. I put my stickers on after I put the pieces down, which helped a lot. But aside from that, ultimately, this is intended to be a playset, even though it's not going to be used as a playset by many of the buyers, because, you know, LEGO is a toy, but more and more it's going to collectors, but it's still intended to be a toy. And that's one of the features that are one of the major factors that cause people to like it. It's a toy that we liked as kids. And now, you know, we get older, teens, adults, we want the toys, we want them to collect, and we're not going to play with them. But ultimately, this should be a durable surface for play, because that's what it's based on. And when you have stickers here, it's not going to be as durable. These are going to wear out if you actually do play with it. Plus, even if you just have it on display, you're going to build up, you know, just detritus from the atmosphere around you and dust and everything. When you dust these, they're going to scrape. Yeah, I really think that these should have been prints. I'm fine with those being stickers, though. You already saw me accidentally move this a little bit. This is good. This is significantly better than it's been in some of these types of play/display sets. You've got that one over there that can move, you get that one that can move, and then you have this one that can move, and this one's a fail because this one doesn't have any remote activation or actuation for it. People were telling me when I was questioning that when the pictures first came out, they were telling me, no, you just do it from the side. No, you can't do it from the side. It rotates from in here. You have to get your finger all the way in there. So this is nice. See, look at that. You don't even see my fingers. That remote action, that is cool. But having to go in here and do this now, that's not cool. I would also prefer not to have these visible bits of blue down in a few spots, but it's not that big of a deal. And the last feature over here is the Ezra jump. Yeah. Thankfully, the minifigures in this are pretty good. Looking at Ahsoka first on the left, I think the graphic design work is very good. The production work is a little bit below where it should be, especially with the opacity in the torso, with the tan there, a little bit on the legs as well, but mostly in the torso. And then on the arms with the wrappings, which are really showing that orange straight through there. Also on the back, the orange isn't the most vibrant on the torso, so that could have been done better. There are also some smudges around the leku, but again, the graphic design work is really, really good on this, and I'm glad that we're getting some consistency. At least I've been getting some consistency with a slight bit of frostiness or translucency to the blades, the lightsaber blades there. I know a lot of people want to see curved handles, but I think the Ventress handles might have been too curved. It's just personal opinion. Could have been more accurate, but I think for something in LEGO, it's within the range. Ezra is looking pretty good graphic design wise as well. I respect the fact that they have design standards in the graphic design team now with respect to the pupils, and they're finally applying those standards as someone who has created and implemented standards, graphic design standards at multiple companies. I'm a big fan of that. However, I'm not a big fan of the standard here. I think that they should have a whole class of exceptions within the standards because he just looks possessed. His eyes, the actual actor's eyes are super bright with the contacts, super bright blue, but I think this just goes too far. Morgan Elsbeth, meanwhile, looks stunning, looks pretty darn near perfect. I don't know how they could have done that character in Lego form in a better way. That would have looked more like the actual character. I mean, that is fantastic. Also got the blade of Talzim there, which uses the Darksaber blade. Thank goodness they've got that available. And here's what they all look like with the hair pieces removed. So you can see just a little bit more of the detail, as well as alternates for each. Thankfully, that is valuable, helps a lot. Grand Admiral Thrawn looks good here. I think that overall the production on this one and the graphic design is good. They thankfully gave him the correct insignia markings there. Nice level of detail. I've seen complaints about the wrong number of code cylinders being on the jacket or on the shirt there. And that's a valid complaint, but I also respect the graphic designer's decision to make a compromise here because adding more code cylinders would have just compressed everything down. And I trust that they made a conscious decision there, and this is what they came up with. But again, it's completely a valid concern to say, it should have been 2 per side. The Night Trooper looks fantastic. I had no emotional attachment to the Night Troopers, to their concept, to their look on screen. They were fine and all, but as a figure, this is produced really well. I want more of these. Obviously, Captain Enoch is not in this set. Hopefully, they will make a battle pack that has a number of these plus an Enoch. That would be great because the production work here is really nice. The gold print that they use has always been really nice. And again, the graphic design standards used here, they go to some finer lines. They have varied line width, I think is looking really good. And they give them proper zombie head underneath as well, which is, again, just all good. So I'm really happy with that. No alternate face, unfortunately, for that one. Could have had one, but doesn't need it. Again, a choice I probably would have gone with 2 versions, but I don't know to what effect would that have really helped. Maybe this will actually be more useful for some custom figures, having a head that you can use bald like that. I don't know, but just your alternate for Thrawn. Overall, both of these I think are good. These are the leftover pieces, which I was happy to see happen to include everything that you need to create a second blade of Talzin here. That's pretty nice and unexpected, but good. And then the sticker sheet is unexpected and not good. I didn't realize, looking at pictures of this when it was first announced, that there would be this many stickers, that there'd be this much area of sticker to be applied to them. That's a lot of sticker for a set that's not much larger than this sticker sheet itself. That's too much. Again, I paid $55 US for this. It is 55 euros, 50 pounds UK, or $70 Canadian. And at that price, it's very, very easy to ask for at least one more figure here, at least. And in my opinion, the one additional figure would be Sabine. It's also reasonable to ask for Enoch, but if they're going to do a Night Trooper battle pack, put Enoch in there, that's perfectly fine. But it is, for that price, it's easy to ask for 2 more figures in this, I think. Lego has always been expensive. It's always been expensive. It's always been expensive. Look at the data, look at the data, look at the data. Lego is expensive. This is Lego Star Wars. More people who are more well-to-do are willing to pay more money for Lego Star Wars stuff. So a company's going to do what a company's supposed to do and make its money. That said, this still feels expensive to me for ultimately 5 figures and a fancy stand. That's what it is. And the stand isn't even as good as it should be because this is good. This is good. This is not. This back here is weak. All the stickers also weak. Yeah, this is overpriced, but still plenty of people are going to buy it. And well, that's where I'm at with it. I'm happy with overall, as someone who's not going to be playing with it, I'm happy with what's here. I'm happy with what's been made available on the market, but I wish that it was more like 45. I'm going to be reasonable. 45 is a lot for this amount of plastic, but I still think that 45 would have been an okay price for it. So that's what I'm looking at. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope that even if you completely disagree with all my opinions, that I have brought you something of value with the time that you spent here on this video. Bye for now.